Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Uncle Frank, and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, you guys knew I had to jump in and say something after today, so here we go. Trump says U.S. will impose additional 100% tariff on Chinese goods. The president said the new duties, in addition to export controls on critical software, would take effect next month. Trump announces 130% tariffs on China. The global trade war just came roaring back. Dow tumbles nearly 900 points after Trump reignites trade war between the world's two largest economies. S&P 500 shed 2.71%, the Dow 1.9, Nasdaq 3.56, the small caps 3.01%. VIX spiked 31.83% today, and gold scratched back up $62.90 to finish at $40.35.50, up 1.58%. But let's get something clear. Most serious stock market corrections are preceded by a pullback of 10% or more. A correction is a decline of 10 to 20% from a market high, while a milder pullback is typically defined as a drop between 5 and 10%. Take a screenshot. And I saved this headline just for my silver bugs because I know you love it. Historic silver squeeze deepens as prices soar in London market. And the sell-off hit crypto too. Massive liquidations hit Bitcoin, XRP, after Trump's 100% China tariff. The crypto market wipeout is the worst since at least early April. Altcoin bloodbath, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Doge crumble as liquidations near 900 million. Some analysts view the current correction as an opportunity. So, Uncle Frank, what brought all this on? Let's start with this. A series of trade war broadsides by China has managed to trigger a social media outburst from the White House. On Thursday, Beijing unveiled new curbs on its exports of rare earths and other critical materials on which it has effectively cornered much of the market. China required that overseas exporters of items that use even traces of certain rare earths obtain an export license, citing national security concerns. To add insult to injury, China slapped new port fees on American ships and said it started an antitrust investigation into U.S.-based Qualcomm. President Trump, who was to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping soon, reacted angrily, responding that he doesn't feel there's a need to meet with Xi now. Later on Friday, Trump, who has repeatedly threatened and retreated on tariffs, announced a new 100% tariff on China. Now, China's sudden move brought this problem front and center. World's chip supply chain is bracing for fallout from China's rare earth curbs. Businesses across the global semiconductor supply chain are bracing for disruptions from China's most targeted move yet to limit supplies critical to building the chips fueling the artificial intelligence boom. So, Uncle Frank, are you buying the dip? Well, maybe a little H-bar, but not yet, because this ain't even a serious sell-off yet. We could have one coming right after it. And here's the backdrop that concerns me. For the first time in history, these 5 economic signals are flashing all at once. The stock market is at record highs, driven by an AI bubble that could trigger a huge correction. U.S. debt has reached a record $37 trillion. The U.S. housing market is at its peak. U.S. mortgage debt hit a record $13.3 trillion last year. Gold and silver prices are elevated. Credit card debt hit a record of $1.21 trillion. Student loan debt hit a record of $1.81 trillion. And Google's search volume for the phrase help with mortgage is at the same level as just before the 2008 global financial crisis. Now, the reason I made this video was to remind you most serious stock market corrections are preceded by a pullback of 10% or more. A pullback is defined as a shorter term decline of about 5 to 10% from a peak. We haven't hit that yet. A correction is defined as a more significant drop of 10 to 20%, and a bear market, a drop of 20% or more, often signaling a recession or significant economic challenges. Now, we have to wait to see what happens over the weekend, what happens with the shutdown. We've got a Fed Reserve meeting coming up at the end of the month, and we're flying blind without economic data coming in. So now is the time for me to watch, not to buy, not investment advice or advisor. The first thing I'll be watching is China's Open Sunday night, 8:30 Central. Remember, Monday is Columbus Day, so the stock market will be open, but the banks and bond market will be closed. Things could get weird here. Be ready. And here's something to think about over the weekend. Ripple mentioned in UK Parliament, but could XRP play a role in national finance? Recent reports claim the UK Parliament is discussing Ripple and XRP as potential national infrastructure. Ripple has been active in UK regulatory discussions. It has provided evidence to the Treasury and DCMS committees and holds registration with the Financial Conduct Authority for money services operations. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.